everybody! So today is yet again another interior video. However, today is a different one because today is a DIY project. Andrew and I have been wanting to redecorate our staircase for many months now. So I've decided to film it and see how it goes, knowing that neither Andrew and I are DIY experts, so that could be very interesting. And if anything is moving here, this is just the cat. Do you want to say hello? Hello everybody! Welcome to a new video! The way I structured this video is that first I'll show you the before of the staircase, then I'll show you the tools you need if you wanted to do a similar project. Then we'll show you the process of how it's been to decorate the staircase. And at the end, I'll talk about the cost and any tips or lessons learned I might have. And if you like interior video, please make sure to subscribe because there'll be more of those in the new year. Also, I'm going back to France very soon and I've been planning to film a little bit of content there. So if you fancy a trip to France for Christmas, make sure to subscribe. So this is the before of the staircase. So on the left you've got the entrance door and then on the right our main corridor. And then as you can see, our staircase at the moment is carpeted with that very plain beige carpet, which is, to be honest, a complete dust trap, mostly because we've got a cat, and obviously with the traffic going up to our living room, there is a lot of dust and bits and bobs getting caught into the carpet, which is kind of the main reason why we've decided to change it and redecorate it. And this is a shot from the upstairs, from our living room. Just very plain, very boring, and a bit disgusting. For this project you will need pliers, a flathead screwdriver, sandpaper, a primer and sealer, which I have decanted in a smaller pot so it doesn't dry out, masking tape, paint brushes, and a small paint roller. The paints of your choice. In our case we went with Deluxe white paint for the risers and Farrow & railing for the treads. Wood filler, strong super glue, a junior hacksaw and a file. So that was the tools you need, and now let's get started. Okay, so here we go. First attempt at pulling the carpet. I just hope there's no spiders in there. Okay. Okay.
The insulation or the padding, so I need to pull the padding up and have a look.
Padding and the grips. Okay.
Ah, looking alright actually.
Yeah, it's not bad, and there's no gaps there between the walls, so that's a good sign. Okay, so Andrew and I did a lot of homework and watched a lot of videos before doing that to know exactly which signs we needed to look for to know if it was a viable project or not. So what you're looking for if you're pulling the carpet on what is probably a plywood stairwell is to make sure that there's no major gap here, which clearly there isn't, as you can see. And then it looks all right. It's been painted, but it looks perfectly fine, quite smooth. And then obviously to make sure there's no gap, and I hope you can see on the camera that there's no gap in between the stair treads. Because obviously if there was big gaps or if it wasn't finished very well, then that's a completely different job and you would need the help of a professional. So I think we're gonna go ahead and rip all that ugly beige carpet off. Wish us luck.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Behind these closed doors, but I promise you that
So it's almost nighttime now, but phase 1 is done. And you can see from the look of me. Phase 1 was to remove the carpet, the paddings and all the staples. It's done. I have to say removing the staple is a little bit soul destroying. Yeah, it was painful. It was painful and that's what took the longest. But we're there, we're done. And tomorrow is phase 2. So phase 2 is wood filler and sanding. It's late on Sunday evening, but phase 2 is done. So now it's phase 3, which will be priming, painting, sealing. Priming is done, and now it's time to get painting, and this is why the very flattering painting outfit is on. Let's do this. Painting phase is complete, and now we are in the last phase, which is a few finishing touches. So let's talk about money. So overall, I think the project came at just under £150, which is really good value for money with such a drastic change. I think we saved quite a lot knowing how much a handyman or contractor might cost to come and redecorating a staircase. However, it is a time commitment. It took us a good full 4 days to complete the project. So that means sacrificing a couple of weekends to make it happen. It was fine, we were happy to do it, but I have to say by the end of it we were exhausted. Now, any tips and lessons learned? So let's go back through the process of redecorating. Removing the carpet, removing the padding were very easy. However, removing the staple and removing the grips, it was painful. It was very time consuming. I think overall it took us about 3 hours to remove all staples, nails and grips from the staircase. And by the end I had blisters on my fingers. That's how physical it was getting. You constantly have to pull. There's a million staples, maybe not a million, but there are a lot of staples. So this part is a bit painful and a bit soul destroying. It's a very boring task, it's a very painful task, so make sure you've got someone helping you with it. Do not do it on your own because it would be way too much work. Find a friend, ask your partner. Yeah, don't do it alone is the short of it. Put some music on, grab a drink and just pull staples. is my recommendation for that part. Now for the wood filling and sanding part, those were pretty straightforward. Wood filling is pretty straightforward, to be honest. I did, however, missed a few spots here and there and a few holes here and there, so I kind of had to do it a couple of times just to make sure I had everything covered. And then sanding was pretty straightforward. We were quite lucky that the steps were in a good state, so we did the sanding by hand. However, if the stairs are not in the best state, I would highly recommend renting a sander, because it's a lot of elbow grease you'll need to sand all the steps. Priming was very straightforward. However, I would really recommend finding a product like the one I've used, which was a sealer and primer from Wilko. It made a very big difference because our staircase was made of plywood, which meant that it would dent very easily, like when we were walking, or even with my nail. There's a few times I touch it and it would actually leave a mark. However, the sealer / primer made all the difference. Using it helped make the surface a lot stronger. And then painting was straightforward. One tip I have is that you'll be surprised how little paint you need. We bought way too much paint for that project. I measured our staircase, and overall the treads were about 5 meters square, and the risers and the skirting were about 7 or 8 meters square. So you really don't need that much paint. With what we bought, I was able to do 3 coats. Even though I only needed to do 2, I decided to do a third one just for peace of mind. And we still have plenty of paint to do another coat. And finally, for the finishing touches, I would say just be a little bit creative. So we noticed that we had quite a big gap where the carpet was ending at the top of the staircase and starting at the bottom of the staircase. So we quickly figured out we just needed to buy a few decorative trim to kind of fit and hide the hole the carpet had left. And that was pretty straightforward. You can find that in any DIY shop. We just painted them accordingly and then glue them, and that did the job. And then you would have seen in the video that when we removed the carpet, we discovered a big electric cable that was hidden under the carpet, under one of the stair tread. So what we did is that we got a bit creative and we bought a U-shaped aluminium bar, which meant that one of the sides was removed, and we were able to just hide the cable under that aluminium bar. I painted it the same color than the risers and glued it, and that did the job, and you cannot see the cable anymore. So that's it. Now you've seen how to redecorate a staircase, remove the carpet and paint it. I hope you liked the video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, and yeah, don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more of those videos and if you want to come with me to France for Christmas. Bye!